Hey, beloved friends, good to see you today. Love and greetings to you. Just another story. This is out of Luke. I'll start next week with some stories of the season. And it comes in the middle of Jesus' ministry. I think that's all you need. And you may recognize the story. One day, Jesus was teaching on the Sabbath in the synagogue. And there was a woman there whom Satan had kept bound for 18 years. She was bent over and could not straighten up at all. Jesus saw her and called her to him and said to her, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." And then he laid his hands on her, and at once she was healed, and she stood up and praised God. Then the synagogue ruler, seeing this, said, "There are 6 days on which to be healed. Come on one of those, and not on the Sabbath day." To which Jesus responded, "You hypocrites! Do you not take your donkey or your ox on the Sabbath and lead it to get water? So should not this woman, this daughter of Abraham, whom Satan has kept bound these 18 years, also be set free on the Sabbath?" At this, his enemies were ashamed, but the people glorified and praised God. Have we ever seen such wonders as this? That's the story. I love that story. I love the picture. I'll never forget Jeannie Cochran and Banks enacting the woman for me in one of our services there. Jeannie was this wonderful, wonderful woman. And she bent over as far as she could and hobbled up towards the front of the sanctuary on the Sunday we were going to do that. And it was such a picture of what would it be like to be bent over, unable to straighten at all. So really you're looking at the ground at your feet all the time. Can't see the sky, can't see the birds, can't see flowers. You're going to see maybe the stems. It was just like, what a life she'd had. 18 years. How many of you remember what happened 18 years ago? Can you imagine 18 years of this kind of an infirmity? It's such a long time. And there was Jesus on the Sabbath day and calls her forward. Can you imagine what might it have been like for her to be called forward in front of all those people? Because she would not have been with the men. She would have been in the back with the women. But he called her forward. And she walked past all the people, bent over. And he said, "You are set free from your infirmity." But nothing happened yet, visibly. Sometimes things can release from our spirits, but the circumstances remain unchanged, can't they? And then he laid his hands on her, and at once she was immediately healed and straightened up and praised God. I thank Jesus for his mercy and his love for her. And then the synagogue ruler, don't you love a synagogue ruler who complains and objects to healing on the Sabbath? There are 6 days in which to be healed. Come one of those, not on the Sabbath day. I hope that I don't lose sight of what the purpose of my life is to the point that I want to limit when God can work and what God can do. Don't you hope that too? That you do not place limits on God in you or in your life or through your life. There's lots of limits around these days, aren't there? Jesus took that on, didn't he? He called him a hypocrite and said, you each break the Sabbath law, technically, by leading your ox or donkey to get water. So should not this woman, a daughter of Abraham, also be set free on the Sabbath? What may we learn about Jesus? His willingness to take on authority that was wrong authority in the manner with which he did it. What may we learn about Jesus? Of his compassion, his care for those that are in bondage. What might it tell you about the care and the compassion that God has for you, no matter the circumstance you find yourself? I want you to remember this story today. Maybe you should try to say it to somebody else about Jesus teaching in the synagogue on the Sabbath. There was this woman there who Satan had kept bound 18 long years. She was bent over, could not straighten at all. And Jesus called her forward, said, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity," placed his hand on her, and then she was healed and straightened up and praised God. The synagogue ruler complained, remember, "There are 6 days in which to be healed. Come one of those, not on the Sabbath." But Jesus said, "You hypocrites, do not each of you take your donkey or ox to the water on the Sabbath? Should not this woman, a daughter of Abraham, also be freed on the Sabbath?" At this, his enemies or detractors were humiliated, but the people praised and glorified God for what they'd seen and wondered at the beauty that had entered their lives. May beauty enter your lives because Jesus is with you in the middle of whatever you're experiencing, and may joy enter your heart. Thank you.